Шановні учасники, пропоную розпочинати наш захід. Будь ласка, займайте свої місця.
Dear participants, we are planning to start in a minute. Please take your seats and we will begin. Well, here we are. Welcome again to everybody who's in the room and everybody who's online. My name is Vladislav Kaveling. I'm a senior advisor of GIZ project that's called Digitalization of Small and Medium Businesses in Eastern Partnership countries. And as you know, last autumn, Ukraine has joined the Digital Europe program. It will last until 2027, and we're sure that it will speed up the restoration of Ukrainian economy and digital transformation. This is what we're going to talk about during our event. I would like to remind you that this is a part of a Digital Euro program that is coordinated by the Ministry of Digital Transformation. And it is advised by the Office for Entrepreneurship, Development and Export. Is supported by GIZ, German Federal Company. And I would like to first give the floor to Vice Prime Minister of Innovation, Education, Science and Technology, Minister of Digital Transformation, Mykhailo Fedorov. Hello everyone. Last year, Ukraine has become a part of the large-scale Digital Euro program. This is another step towards making our country the most digital-friendly country in the world. Ukrainians have the opportunity to receive grants for high-tech projects that can be expanded to all EU countries. The areas of focus include AI, digital skills, supercomputers and other innovative developments. Grants are available for the public sector, NGOs, media, startups, venture capital companies and even universities. Ukrainian specialists can join the European Digital Hub network. They can study international best practices and share Ukrainian digitalization experience. For example, 13 organizations from Ukraine are already engaged in the creation of a single EU digital wallet. In the future, it will be an app with documents and services. It is very similar to our Dia app. I believe in the incredible potential of Ukrainians to create large-scale technology projects and products. Visit the program's website, study the information, find European partners and apply. The budget for digital grants is record-breaking 6 billion euros. Our partners from the Entrepreneurship and Export Development Office are ready to support you at every stage. Special thanks to the German government and the GIZ project for the opportunity to implement the Digital Euro program in Ukraine. I wish success to each of you. Yeah, Digital Euro program means powerful capabilities and possibilities for you, Ukraine, and I would like to invite Renate Nikolay, who is a Deputy Director of Digital Connect European Commission. Renate, please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, here. Vice Prime Minister Fedorov, here, Valeriya. I am very, very happy to be here with you, even on a distance. I remember very well still our first meeting, dear Valeriya, with your Ukrainian mission here in Brussels a while ago, when we discussed the possibility of Ukraine joining the Digital Europe program. And because we have worked well together, we have made it. And we
Valeriya,
are
є?
now
Вже паркують.
It's clear we need to work together on that. Therefore, that Ukraine is becoming part of the Digital Europe program is good news. It's good news for Ukraine, but it's also extremely good news for the European Union. Because I can hardly imagine any country that is as advanced in using digital technologies as Ukraine is. Ukrainian digital technology experts are known to be amongst the best in the world. So having you on board in this important cooperation on digital matters is a win for us all. And it will bring Ukraine again one step closer to the European family. And this is what we have been working on very vividly in the last couple of months. We have made great progress in bringing Ukraine closer to the EU and to the internal market across the broader digital agenda. Think about roaming. Think about the broader electronic communication policy. Think also about areas we are still working through, like, for instance, the e-wallet that also the Vice Prime Minister has mentioned. This is not only a signal that we are serious about our political commitments, it's also a proof that we can make fast progress if we really all work together. I have just this week spoken online at a gathering of all the telecom regulators of the European Union and the associated partners. And Lilian from the Ukraine Telecom Regulatory Authority was also part of that conversation, and that's exactly how it is supposed to be. So with the Digital Europe program, we are opening yet another chapter of close cooperation. Ukrainian business, Ukrainian citizens, Ukrainian public sector organizations will be able to participate in key digital capacity areas. There are, for instance, areas such as supercomputing, artificial intelligence, advanced digital skills, or digital innovation hubs. All these are important. They are all part of the same bigger picture of regulatory cooperation, of research and technology cooperation, of industrial cooperation, of people-to-people cooperation. You will hear about these different areas and the great possibilities the program offers in the course of the event. So from my side now, a warm welcome to Ukraine to become part of the Digital Europe program. I wish you good conversations today, and I hope that we will enjoy discovering together yet another kind of, phase of very close cooperation on the basis of the program. Thank you very much and stay safe.
А ми дякуємо.
We appreciate your words, Renate, and thanks to EU for their solidarity and powerful support. I would like to give the floor to the next speaker, Andrii Remizov, the head of the Office for the Development of Entrepreneurship and Export. Thank you. Hello, everyone, dear colleagues, partners, business owners. I represent Office for the Development of Entrepreneurship and Export. This is an institution under the Secretariat of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine that creates possibilities to develop Ukrainian business and to promote Ukrainian export. And we are a think tank that creates analytics for business. We have a national showroom representing Ukrainian products. We implement a series of grants And we are point of contact for Ukrainian businesses when we help them develop. We are working together with different ministries, authorities, the Ministry of Economy, the Ministry of Digital Transformation, the Cabinet of Ministers, and with the Ministry of Digital Transformation, we're implementing Dія.Бізнес project that is part of the Dia ecosystem that has online and offline component. It's basically a web portal that has different programs to support Ukrainian businesses, free advice and other support. And the government assigned us as a national contact point. We will be an ambassador in Ukraine that will promote information about this greater program, and we will cooperate with different international agencies, European Commission, to make sure Ukrainian organizations participate in the program. Our mission as a national point of contact is a development of entrepreneurship culture in the society through cooperation with international organizations and integration in the European digital market. Through the participation of that program, we will promote EU digital policy, we will inform people about competitions, open calls, and we will provide advice for businesses. And right now you can get advice on our portal from our specialists about the program, how to find out how to participate, what are the open calls. And if you haven't seen detailed information about the program, you can find it just using the QR code or clicking the link. And it's a big program. It has different areas. As the previous speaker said, it's high-performance computing, cybersecurity, advanced digital skills, AI, other services, and this is what we're going to develop. And who can participate in the program? Small and medium businesses, higher education institutions, different public associations that work with digitalization in their regions, also central government authorities and other beneficiaries. Getting advice on how to participate, you can just visit the Dія.Бізнес portal and our experts can provide you with advice. It just takes 3 clicks, you can apply, and you will get support from our specialists. So it's available right now. Besides, we have open calls. I just wanted to show you the scale and main areas that are covered by the program, because these are quite interesting. The first competition is a creation of an infrastructure for European intensive care units. It just sounds complicated, but it means creating different databases, environments where European institutions, hospitals, and other interested parties can exchange information. The budget is 5 million euros. The deadline is until 22nd of November 2023. Another one is developing Cityverse. It's about the creation of different websites for governments and creating virtual spaces. That could be interesting for Ukrainian companies. And it's this budget quite high, and I'm sure that Ukrainian companies have a lot to show because they have the right websites and digital solutions for governments. The third case is Genome of Europe. It's quite interesting competition. It's a very nice idea. Implementation of a Genome of Europe is a large project that is about the creation of a European reference genome database. So they're creating this database with information that were acquired using whole genome sequencing. Another case is data space for tourism. It will allow European organizations that work in tourism industry share different projects, statistics. It's already available for Ukrainian companies, public organizations, and other players in the sector. And overall, these are just some example. There are a lot more, and they are all available on the Dія.Бізнес website in the section Digital Europe. So you can just visit the website, read the text, read the description, and information about how to apply. And just to remind you, applying for it happens through creating consortium with international partners. So you have to work on finding the right partner in order to apply jointly for that grant, because this is one of the peculiarities of European programs. And it happens on the European portal where competition information is published, and it's all available in English language. So it's really nice possibility for Ukrainian companies and organizations to attract more finance funding, implement nice ideas, and implement projects together with European organizations and companies. That will be very useful for Ukraine right now during this hard time. And this is just a short information about this. If you have questions, I'm still here, and you can visit Dія.Бізнес portal and find information about that. If you need advice, please register. Thanks a lot, and I wish you lots of success. We appreciate your information, Andrii. It's very important. The program is starting, but now you can get advice about different grants. And I would like to give the floor to the next speaker, Valeriya Ionan, Deputy Minister of Transformation. She's responsible for European integration. One, two, three, four. Everything works. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to see you. How are you today? Because it feels like it's, the atmosphere is too neutral. So, hello, everyone. It's a great news for Ukraine, and we are proud in the ministry that Ukraine became a part of this Digital Euro program. We are working on creating digital Ukraine, and you maybe know that they called Ukraine a digital tiger, and it's one of the first countries in the world with digital passports, and the world is watching us in the context of digital transformation. So without further ado, I will tell you more about the program and about its possibilities. So the program Digital Europe was launched in 2021. It emerged during pandemic times, when businesses had to transform their business processes in the digital space and adapt to working remotely. So this is where digital transformation is strengthened. And this program is designed to fill the gaps, and it will benefit citizens and businesses. Digital Europe supports different areas like green transition and digital transformation, increasing resilience and sovereignty. Ukraine joined the program recently. It was the 7th month of the full-scale invasion. I think this is where this program acquired the new sense, and today it's more than just necessary for us. And last year, lots of people thought that our economy won't last, but fortunately, we show that we are resilient, and new businesses emerged. And in the beginning of autumn, we have more than 2 million private entrepreneurs working in Ukraine. So then their numbers are still rising, and they continue to develop in different regions. So Digital Europe will create possibilities to develop new technologies and products, will open access to new knowledge and context. The funding constitutes $6 billion that are allocated for programs for Ukraine. And speaking in more details about areas, I'd like to say that the first area is the creation and capacity building in computing and data processing. That's very important for data-driven companies. Also, it's AI, cloud services, and data. The main point is to create a global space of data that is useful without archives and paperwork. That's what we love, and that's what we actively work since the creation of our ministry. Another area is education in digital skills. And it's not just about basic knowledge. I'm talking about advanced skills and advanced knowledge, like how to work with big data, AI, quantum technologies, or cybersecurity. And the fourth area is using technologies in economy and society. For example, technologies in healthcare, culture, or environment. So we're focusing on innovative technologies to raise trust towards digital transformation. Andrii has told you about the grants and programs that are accessible. I'd like to say that getting grants is available for private entrepreneurs and the public sector, higher education institutions, scientific institutions, NGOs, and many institutions and associations that are listed on the website. What you need to focus on is the requirements for a digital consortium.
Європейському порталі.
As Andrei mentioned, the European Commission portal, you can find this information and the QR code. You can use it if you have not opened the tender page. You can do it now. What will be the advantages of participants in the program? Is grant support for implementing the projects, new knowledge, expertise, practices, engagement of European and Ukrainian experts to develop your project. It will be a significant enhancement with knowledge and technology, and of course it's development of innovation digital infrastructure. You'll be like trailblazers with certain technology and tools. By the way, a few words I would like to add about the consortium. Ukrainians are participating already in 3 of those. Minister of Digital Transformation is engaged in all of them. First of them is Potential, which develops the European digital wallet. It's like our Dia. 13 organizations have engaged in the program. GovTech for All, another consortium to bridge a gap between the state, public sector and digital technologies. DC4U, development of the European wallet, but in the education sector. It's important to mention that in September this year, actually last month, there was a very important event for Ukraine because the Office for Development of Entrepreneurship and Export was identified as a national contact point. It means if you want to participate in tenders of Digital Europe and you don't know how, you need a consultation and you have outstanding issues to solve, you have to address the Office of Entrepreneurship and Export, who will explain you and support you in your participation in this program. Also, I'd like to mention that in order to scale up this program in the whole territory of Ukraine, we are supporting the initiative of creating a network of European digital innovation hubs. The idea is to provide technology and tools for high performance computing, digital skills and cybersecurity. A research center, a university or IT company or any other facility can become such a hub. What are the advantages from opening such a hub? First of all, it's financing, receiving a grant, and revenues from own activities and business. Also, best practices and contacts and membership in the European network of EDIH. And at the moment, there are over 150 of them in Europe. European Commission will provide 3 million euros for such hubs in Ukraine for 4 years, from 2024 to 2027, and another 3 million will be covered by matched by the participants, that matching can be from own funds or international donors or proceeds from activities of the hubs or other funds or combined sources of funding from various sources. To become a member in such a network, you have to apply officially. We will announce about it at the end of October, and by the year end we will select the candidates who will submit to the European Commission competition, which will take place early next year. I hope I made it clear that we are accepting your applications by the end of this month, and next next year there will be a competition. It's a comprehensive program. For the first time, Ukraine has such a opportunity to join such an initiative. For us, it's a real breakthrough, which creates huge opportunities. So the format for many of you is probably new. It's joining in the international consortia. Maybe the topics for you, maybe not all topics are included. Some of you maybe would like to join, and there are open tenders. But we believe it's a wonderful opportunity, not just to make a product for Ukraine, but also to enhance your knowledge and to become more competitive. It wouldn't be possible, this event wouldn't be possible if it were not for support of our partners. Special thanks I would like to extend to the government of the German government, its GIZ program, for being able to implement Digital Europe program in Ukraine. So summarizing my presentation, as we are going to have a lot of other speakers with introductory addresses, please use those references and find partners, do apply, and use the opportunity to get consultation. Please don't be shy, don't hesitate to contact the national contact point, and we're really looking forward for your implemented projects in Ukraine in the next 3 years. So thank you for your participation. I hope this information was useful for you, and let's be in touch. The Ministry of Digital Transformation will always be with you. Thank you, Valeriya. Despite the fact that the program is just beginning, we have some success stories for which the next speakers will tell us online. I invite Valeriya Ionan, a representative of a potential consortium, and colleague Alexander Kozlov. Good afternoon. I'm Alexander Kozlov, a representative of the T4UEA, and I'm performing a coordinating function for potential consortium in the framework of Digital Europe program. This project is quite big. It's related to new regulation of the European Union, and it enables Ukraine and its partners to be in the front of changes together with the European Union countries. I will turn the floor to my colleague, Valeriya Ionan, who is the head of one of the directions in the potential consortium, and I will complement her presentation.
Hello, everybody. Do you hear me? It's okay. There is some echo, but okay, now it's better. So maybe can you open the presentation, please? Is it visible for everybody? Okay. I don't see. Okay, now it's fine. So our project potential. It's a very nice name, and it gives a lot of belief that it's really the potential of European digital future. In 2020, when the COVID came, and all the parliamentarians, the OKIA, that they are sitting home and could not access their voting tables, could not take the voting process and could not do that remotely. So they called the European Commission that a unified European digital identity is needed. I'm sorry, there is some echo. Is that okay? No? Okay. And so we are here. Next slide, please. So the European Digital Identity Wallet is a core of the European digital market. And it's part of the digital services which supposed to be by 2030 100% to go digital. It could be also confirmed that internationally the governments and all the regions recognize the importance of the digital identity, and the very latest recent OECD report released legal recommendations for international digital identity. The report says that it's from 3 to 13% of GDP might be generated if we have the interoperable digital identity. So the digital identity, it's not only for digital services, but it's also not only for digital rights to be used, because I believe in the near future we'll be voting for electing the new parliaments by this digital identity. But it's about the run of the economies, which regions, Europe, states, or some Japan or others, who will take the leadership, because this is very much matter. Next slide. Can you change the slide? Yeah. So currently, what was stated that digital identity, European digital identity, should be free, accessible for everybody, nationally and cross-border. Well, now, as I know, the latest version in the parliament, it says that for physical persons it should be free, but maybe for the commercial there will be some fees. So let's wait for the latest version. And also it should be interoperable. And sorry, I don't see the next. Yeah. And it should be secure and privacy oriented. The user could decide which data he need to share, and it take the control of that. And of course, it should be accepted everywhere, nationally and cross-border. So this is, next slide, please. So this is, for the first time, we have very sophisticated process of 4 processes running in parallel. So this is the legal regulation. As you know, the EIDAS 2 regulation is the last month in the European Parliament. Until the end of the year, it should be adopted. So in parallel, we have the EIDAS expert working group. Member states are working on the technical specifications, how this wallet should look like. And the third process is the prototype wallet reference implementation. So we have some small parts already showed, but we are waiting for the release in October and in December. So maybe few versions. For the moment, it's a little bit in delay. But anyway, there are some progressive steps. For this issue, Europe allocated 26 million for the development of the prototype. And the fourth process is the 4 large-scale projects, which started in the 1st of April this year. Next slide. Yeah. So maybe the next, because I don't see previous. Okay. So here we have all those four big pilots, which are having a lot of the participants from the private and the public sector, and the potential is one of these 4. So we have 38 ministries, 34 state operators, 9 research centers, private companies, 51, and 12 startups, 19 countries plus Ukraine. I think this is a really big challenge, not only for Europe, but we are very happy to have Ukraine on board, because it's not only us to connect and to learn from each other and to develop new things, but it's also to learn from the Ukraine, because Ukraine is only one of few countries which have the national digital wallet in the operational phase. And I believe that maybe next slide, and then I will give the word to Alexander.
Thank you.
The previous slide indicates 11 user cases where, in addition to what the Alexander just will present, there are other user cases to be developed by other consortium on the digital diploma, on social security tax payments, on travel. So there will be very exciting journey waiting for us in front, and I'm giving the word to Alexander to continue.
Thank you. Колеги, будь ласка, наступний слайд.
Please, next slide. I will tell you more about the consortium potential, because in the framework of this event, it's a bright example of how interaction takes place between different countries in one project. Potential is a very big project. Very ambitious aim is to build the future in the European Union, where EID will be available at the trans-border level. From Ukraine, EID is a day-to-day business. Everyone knows that you can easily use Dia portal, get identified and get service and be satisfied not leaving your home. In some EU countries, they have the same good situation, but not all of them. And the most difficulty is to provide such capabilities across the border. As you see, in this consortium, 19 countries participate, and only one country which is not a EU member is Ukraine. That's why we're really grateful for this opportunity to work together with the EU countries. And the regulation is still not available for that. And it's a good example how European Commission approaches the issue and gets everyone prepared for this large-scale regulation. It will not fall on us from the sky. Everybody understands that which way the legislator is moving. There are continuous consultations ongoing, and new requirements are set forth. And there is a product which has been tested by the interested countries. In our consortium, there are more than 140 participants. They are both from the public and from the private sectors. The leaders in the consortium, in our example, there are two countries. France is the general coordinator in the consortium. It is in charge of organizational and procedural issues, and the technical coordinator is Germany. These two countries assume more responsibilities. They have vast experience operating in consortiums of such scale, and projects which are called in European Union large-scale pilots. We are just the beginners in this project, but we are really actively participating in these changes. The consortium operates on 6 cases of wallet implementation. This is to enable to get online public services using the wallet ID to open a bank account, to register SIM card, driver's license, qualified electronic signature, and recipes.
Next slide, please. As you see, all of these cases are focused not just on the implementation nationally, but making sure it's available across borders, because it's important for the European Commission to provide a possibility for all members of EU, all people, access these possibilities in other countries. They want to make it available independent of what country you're a citizen of. Next slide, please. Okay, you can see a list of different UC scenarios and who's participating. For example, Ukraine participates in all of the cases. It's quite an ambitious goal, but we have something to share already. As you can see, most popular cases are electronic driver licenses and electronic attestation of driving license, and also a qualified electronic signature. They're all available in Dia app, and most people have been actively using that, having both ID and driver's ID and qualified electronic signature. But we have a lot to work on so that we can use these documents across borders, both physically and online. Next slide, please. And it's an unprecedented possibility for us to share our experience, because it's really a great experience that is appreciated and respected by many EU countries. And besides, the new regulation that is being adapted in the EU requires of us to implement EU standards, and if we want to work on these changes before they are adopted in the EU, it also helps us to prepare our infrastructure, our legislational framework for the users, and also using that, our citizens can interact with government electronically. These are main stages of implementation. We have tables like that for all consortiums and pilot projects as part of the Digital Europe program. It's a 2-year project and it's going to be wrapped up in April 2025. This plan pretty much depends on the European Commission progress with new regulation, and also their work with the experts group from represented by different EU countries, because they provide architectural requirements for the wallet. So we're using their progress, and we are continuing to work and provide our recommendations as part of this consortium. Well, thank you for your attention. As you can see, we already had a possibility to share our experience with Dia app on the international conference, and we continue to do so every day. We have meetings and working together to develop requirements for such a wallet. And thanks to the Digital Euro program, our ministry and other agencies have a possibility to be engaged.
And to think.
If I can add, to Alexandra, so I see there are really three important things. First of all, we see Ukraine as a partner in this consortium, equal to equal. Not any case I heard that, oh, they are not the member state or whatever, that they could not do that or they don't have it. So they act and deliver it like everybody. And as I said, even it's so more to learn from Ukraine, which has 5-6 million of the users already in the real electronic services. So, but even more, I would like to highlight that I see participation in this big, ambitious project as a big political value and impact, because it's not only, says that Ukraine is doing progress into Europe and integration, but I believe that the results, Ukraine, joining all this infrastructure and digital market, would confirm the fact that Ukraine is already part of this market. And I think that would give the good catalyzer for other European integration processes as well. So thank you for inviting. In these heavy, challenging times, I wish everybody hope, energy, and go ahead. So you are great guys. Перемога буде за нами.
Дякую, колега.
Thank you, colleagues. And we're thankful to Alexander and Wilma for their inspiring example and wish them success with the project implementation. An important aspect of Digital Europe project is the creation of European innovation hubs, and the next speaker will tell you more about that. So I'm inviting Helena Rodriguez, project manager for DG Connect European Commission.
Can you hear me?
We hear you well, please.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation and for this opportunity to present the European Digital Innovation Hubs and the extension of the network to Ukraine. So my name is Helena. I work in DG Connect Unit A4, and I'm in charge of the organization of the next EDIH call for the associated countries that we will open now. We will launch the call at the end of this year. Yeah, can you go to the next slide, please?
Да. Хорошо.
Thank you.
Понял. Хорошо.
So as you know, the digital transformation is one of the key priorities in Europe. You heard in all the previous presentations. So to support the digital transformation, Europe has set up the Digital Decade Policy Program 2013, where some concrete targets and objectives were defined for 2030. And the main goals of the digital decade are focused, or we can summarize in 4 points that you can see here in this cardinal. So we are talking about the digitally skilled population and highly skilled digital professionals, secure and sustainable digital infrastructures, digital transformation of business, and digitalization of public services. Can you go to the next slide, please? Sorry. The Digital Europe program was already presented in the previous presentations, but I would like to make here the bridge with the European Digital Innovation Hub, so the initiative that I will explain you in detail. So the digital transformation is being supported by different programs. One of these programs is the Digital Europe program. The Digital Europe program so the aim of this program is to support the SMEs and the public sector in the digital organization, in the digital transformation, and this focus on these 5 key capacities. So we are talking about cyber computing, artificial intelligence, cyber security, advanced digital skills, and the deployment and best usage of digital capacity and interoperability. And so this will be done also through the European Digital Innovation Hubs. So the EDIs are playing a central role in the Digital Europe programs to stimulate the broad uptake of these capacities that are developed now through Digital Europe program. Next slide, please. So, in fact, what is an EDI? An EDI is a single organization or a coordinated group of organizations that have a complementary expertise with a non-profit objective that will support companies, SMEs and mid-caps, and public organizations in their digital transformation. So the EDIs will provide technological expertise and experimentation facilities to enable the digital transformation of the industry and the public sector. What are the typical participants that can be part of the consortium in an EDI? So you have here some examples. This is really just examples. We have completely different structures depending on the EDI, depends on the country. But you can see here, for example, that innovation cluster could be part of an EDI, research and technology organizations, universities, etc., etc. And then what are the typical customers of the EDIs? We are talking about small companies, micro companies, mid-caps, and public sector organizations. Next slide, please. What are the services that an EDI will give to the SMEs and public organizations? So we are talking about we organize the services in 4 main groups. We are talking about the test before invest. You can see here in this picture on the right side of the slide. So we are talking about test before invest. An EDI should allow an SME to test and experiment a digital technology before they decide to invest on this technology. An EDI should also provide this support to to find investment service. So an EDI should support companies to become more competitive and improve their business models, helping them to find investors in their business. Another service is the innovation ecosystem and networking, and EDI should act as a facilitator and bring together industry, business, and administrations and put them together in contact with the companies that have the market-ready solutions to help these companies. Another service is the skills and training. So an EDI should provide support in the area of advanced skills and training. So the concept or the idea behind of an EDI is that should be close to the needs of a region. An EDI should know the organizations that are close to them, should know them and should help them in their digital transformation by knowing their needs and having this capacity to help them. If an EDI doesn't have the capacity to help an entity that is close to them, then they should put this entity, this SME, in contact with another EDI. That's why it's very important, this notion of the network, EDIH network. So, all the EDIs, they should be like working together in a network to be able to provide this support, these services that an SME or a public organization needs. When we designed the EDIH initiative, we identified that for each country, at least one EDI should be focused on artificial intelligence. This is related with the importance of the AI, of course, for the development now of the digital transformation in Europe. Next slide, please. So what are the type of EDIs that we see now according with the experience that we have with so this slide here just to give you an example of what is an EDI, so what entities are part of the consortium in one EDI. So this is an average of all the EDIs that are part now of the current network. So an average EDI has 11 participants. Again, an average EDI. We have cases that we have an EDI with one entity. We have other cases that an EDI has 20 partners, so really depends. Then the majority of the participants are private companies, universities, and research organizations. The participants belonging to the category other that you see here at the end are predominantly associations and membership organizations. Again, this distribution is based on all the EDIs that are now part of the network, and it's just for you, just to have an example, how different could be. Next slide, please. Regarding the budget of an EDI, an EDI is funded up to 50% from a Digital Europe program, as what was already explained before, and Ukraine has 3 million for the EDIs. But that means that the total budget for the EDIs that will be funded for Ukraine, the total budget should be 6 million minimum, because we will fund from Digital Europe program 50%, so meaning 3 million from those 6 million for the total budget for the EDIs. The other 50% can come from different sources. Here I just want to give you some examples. Could be from sponsorship by international donors, could be for national funding from the government, could be funds from the consortium members, could be income generated through the EDI services, so income generated by the project, or could be a mix of all these sources. Here I highlight the importance of this EDIH FNQ manual. So during the first and the second EDIH call that we we opened, so in the last 2 years for the member states, we received a lot of questions from the proposals, from the candidate eddies, and we created this document that I think it's really very useful and important for you, with the most common questions that we were receiving from these countries. And we try, and we are giving a common answer that is applied to everyone. I highlight here this question about because we receive this question a lot of times about what should be typically the range of funding for each cost category. For example, for personal costs, equipment, facilities, what should be the percentage of the split of this budget? Here, the main message is that there is no rule, no really the best formula to apply. Each EDH should decide the way that you invest, that you divide the budget, taking into account the specific circumstances of the services that you are offering. So we don't want then to put any hard constraints and tell you exactly what should be the typical range of expenditure. But you have to find this question there in this FNQ document and other questions important. So I really advise you to go to this FNQ. You will see the link at the end of my presentation. Next slide, please. So as I said at the beginning, so the EDH should be close to the needs of the local needs of the SMEs and the public sector that they are helping. But we have, with the experience and with the needs of each country, we see that there are different compositions of different areas. Now I'm hearing my echo. It's difficult to concentrate. I think it's better now. Thank you. I think that or we can see different areas, so areas with different focus. There are some areas that are focused on a regional level and others at a national level. And this really depends on the needs of the country and on the specificity of of each region and country. I would advise Ukraine to reflect on what are your needs. Well, you are a very big country, so you have to see, and you will receive from Digital Euro program 3 million to invest in EDIS. So we are talking about EDIS for this first phase. For this first call, so 6 million budget total for EDIs. So you cannot have an EDI in each region because the country is really big. So you have to think the best way to organize and distribute the budget. So I give you here the example of Italy. So Italy has selected we have selected to be funded, so 13 EDIs in total, and 9 EDIs are focused on regions, and you can see here in this map that some EDIs are covering only one region, others are focused on 2 or 3 regions or more, and you have then 4 EDIs that are focused at national level, so they are covering the whole territory. And if you see here the definition or the specificity of these 4 EDIs that are covering the whole country, you can see, for example, that you have one EDI called DANT, that is the sector identified is active and healthy aging. So it's really specific, and for them, the way that Italy decided to be organized, it was to have one EDI focused on the whole country to target the healthy aging. Then you have another EDI in Italy called Arts 5.0 that is focused on creative and culture industry. Again, something really specific, only one EDI for the entire country. But again, this is really examples, and you have to reflect and to think how you want to organize the EDIs in your country. Next slide, please. Then about the EDH network as it is today. So As I told you, we have organized 2 EDIH calls for the member states, where we have included also 3 associated countries, so Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. So from these 2 EDIH calls, we have selected 151 EDIs that signed a grant agreement with us, so EDIs that are already operating. And we have selected also 76 EDIs that received the Seal of Excellence. What does it mean, that the EDIs that received Seal of Excellence? So these proposals were submitted in these 2 calls. They passed the threshold, meaning that they had quality enough to be funded, but the countries didn't have more budget to fund them. And then we gave to them this Seal of Excellence, and then it was up to the countries or to the EDIs themselves to identify other ways of sourcing, and then if they have the funding need to operate, then they can start operating, and they are part of the EDIH network, meaning that they have access to the services, to be in contact, to have this networking with the other EDIs, but they are not funded from Digital Europe program. It's the main difference. Now, with this view to extend the EDIH network to other associated countries, including Ukraine, we are working now to open a call that we will launch the call now in December 2023 for the countries that are already associated or countries that are now in the process to become associated. Next slide, please. So what are the next steps for the coming months in order to Ukraine to be prepared to participate in the EDI's call for associated countries? So I know that the Ukraine is now working on the national process, or on the process to pre-select the candidate EDIs at the national level, and then only those candidate EDIs that were pre-selected by your country will be able to participate in the restricted call for proposals that we will launch in December 2023. Then, between December and March-April 2024, the call will be open, and the proposals, so these candidate EDIs will have the opportunity to submit proposals. So you will have to go to the Europa portal, to our portal, and you will have all the information there, the proposal template, and you have to submit the proposals. Then after that, so when after the call deadline, we will start organizing the evaluation process. So meaning that we will evaluate all the proposals with the help of external experts, and we will rank the proposals, all the proposals submitted, according with their quality. We have some criteria that we will check, and we will rank all these proposals. For your country, we'll have like proposal number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. So depending on the final score of each proposal. We will then endorse this ranked list with the national authority in Ukraine that is working with us for the EDIs, and then we will invite those proposals that had a higher score. We will invite them to sign the grant agreement with us till we reach the total funding for the Digital Europe program for the EDIs. Then we start this ping-pong exercise to sign the contracts with these proposals that were selected to be funded, and then once everything is defined, is corrected, and everything is in place, we sign the grant agreement with those projects. A very important information is that we need to sign the grant agreement till end of 2024. Otherwise, we risk to lose the budget, because we are using budget from 2021, 2023. That's why we need to launch the calls till this year, and we must sign the the grant agreement till end of next year. This is for this first call that we are opening. So this first call, it's like a pilot test that we are opening. Doesn't mean that if you need to open another call in the future for associated countries that are not ready, for example, to participate in this call, we will do it then in the future. And then once we have the signature, the grant agreement signed and the project is prepared to start, we will then issue the pre-financing. So the project will receive a pre-financing to start operating. I said that the project has to sign the contract till end of 2024, but doesn't mean that they have to start the project still in 2024. They can start in later in 2025 if it's better for you. Next slide, please. So this is my last slide. And you can find here all the important links with the information about the areas. I just want to highlight the first link. There is a page that we have created for the EDH call for the associated countries, where you can find all the information there, including the recorded sessions of the 2 meetings that we organized in July and September for the associated countries, where we explain in detail all the process, all the details about the EDH process. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. I finish here my presentation, and I would like to say that I'm at your disposal to help you and guide you to make the EDH initiative a success, and welcome Ukraine to our European Digital Innovation Hubs initiative. Thank you.
Ми дякуємо Хелені за презентацію наступних кроків у
We thank Helena for presenting next steps in terms of development of European digital innovation hubs. I will put ahead of the speaker, and I will tell you about GIZ project for Eastern Partnership countries and events organized to support creation of such hubs. As a speaker, I would like to greet you on behalf of the German federal company GIZ. And with the outbreak of the Russian war of aggression, GIZ focused its support in Ukraine in 3 major areas. The first is providing electricity, medicines, temporary housing for citizens of Ukraine. The second area, GIZ is participating in recovering the infrastructure. And the third area, GIZ continues to provide advice on reforms on the way of Ukraine's accession to EU, and we're supporting economy and the innovation development in the country. At the moment, GIZ is implementing over 30 various projects. One of those projects is digitalization of SMEs in the Eastern Partnership countries. It started this year and will last till 2026. This project is implementing activities not only in Ukraine, it also provides support to other Eastern Partnership countries such as Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Moldova. In all those countries, the project is active at 3 major levels. The first is macro level. Here we are trying to support the Ministry of Digital Transformation in terms of supporting entrepreneurship development, and we're trying to work with the State Statistics Service to adopt major European practices concerning getting information on entrepreneurship. At meso level, we are trying to cooperate with organizations which support businesses, and cross-cutting issue is supporting and further development of European digital innovation centers. And at the micro level, our project will provide support to entrepreneurs on development of knowledge, to develop innovation and digital competences in their businesses. You can see this approximate schedule for this year's support of the European Digital Innovation Hubs, and all of us are probably in this yellow quadrangle, which is called Kickoff Event Digital Europe. Before that, a serious preparation took place not only for this event but to prepare documents for the national selection, which Valeriya mentioned. And the start of this national selection is planned at the end of October. It will last for slightly less than a month. By mid-November, we will notify about it together with our partners. We'll get to know in the right time. We continue our support and trying to organize events right now. Next Monday, we are planning to announce a number of inspiring webinars where the representatives of the EU from various countries will share their practices in creating these European Digital Innovation Hubs. They will share information how they are operating and what are the challenges they are facing today. And finding co-funding will be covered at those events. During the competition, the webinars will be organized where you'll be able to address your questions and get answers about the application and competition itself, and likewise individual consultations will be provided. Where together with the experts you'll be able to clarify all necessary moments which are of interest to you. We are envisaging that in the beginning of December we'll be able to, together with the Ministry of Digital Transformation, to select a short list of those potential European digital innovation hubs and to submit it to the European Commission. After that, of course, the competition itself will start, organized by the European Commission. As it was explained earlier, I will not focus on that. The GIZ and our project will support this process, support the applicants, and we will provide support in drawing these application forms, because at the European Commission stage, I wouldn't say it will be complicated, but it will be quite serious. In 2024, it will continue like today. We'll provide support. Again, these are approximate dates. I will emphasize that they will be identified. Those hubs will be identified with whom the grant agreements will be signed, and they will start their operation. We anticipate that these hubs will become operational in 2024. On the GIZ part, again, we will support this process. We'll provide training and advice and to enhance the capacity of those hubs, because in the very beginning it will be the most needed. So we will engage European experience of those countries who had passed that path, who know certain subtleties of the process. So we really hope that it will work like that. Despite this presentation, I'm quite confident that you have some questions outstanding. So on the screen you can see my contact details. I'll be glad to answer all your questions in any format convenient for you. We'll be able to talk to each other during our coffee break at the end. So I'll be glad to meet you and to cooperate with you. Thank you for your attention. Glory to Ukraine. I return to the stage to announce our next speakers our colleagues from Poland. I would like to announce and invite to the microphone Tomasz Pitko, who is the representative of the ministry which is in charge of the structure and the network of the European Digital Innovation Hubs in Poland, and his colleague Anna Bajak, who is the representative of this hub. Tomasz and Anna, the floor is yours, please. Вітаю. Хочу подякувати за організацію цієї події, за те, що надали нам можливість поділитися польським досвідом, тим, як ми створювали такі цифрові інноваційні хаби в Польщі. Зараз в мене є презентація. Ми розпочали підготовку в 2018 році цих хабів. Це розпочалося з пілотної програми, яка була
in the years 2019-2021. Please, next slide, maybe. We organized this pilot program as an open call with a budget of 8 million euros for 3 years. We've chosen 5 digital innovation hubs. You can see their distribution on the map. Those digital innovation hubs were coordinated by very different entities. Like one of them was the Technical University in Poland. The second one was Technological Park. It was also the private company, state research entity, and the university foundation. When it comes to specializations of those pilot digital innovation hubs, they were like Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, in which we had also the specialization of 5G networks. The interesting 5G network was built in campus of Łódź Technological University. There were also specializations of robotics, automatization, and also 3D printing. So what was actually the idea of this pilot program? We decided to organize this to, let's say, test the idea of European digital innovation hubs in our Polish context, which means that we gathered like a lot of knowledge. We gave a lot of freedom for people, organizations who wanted to take part in this pilot, the freedom in defining the idea how the digital innovation hub should work. At the end, we gathered the knowledge, which was like very helpful while conducting the national preselection for European Digital Innovation Hub program. Please, next slide. So, some of our lessons we learned were, for example, that during the pilot program, we asked for information about technical and human capital which organization has. But after the pilot program, we realized that the most important thing is actually like description of the services, and technical potential is also important, but sometimes it doesn't mean that entities with a huge potential will perform like very well services later. So it was like the biggest lessons we learned. The other lesson was, for example, it wasn't a big surprise, but private entities performed like much better than state entities. And also during the pilot program, we signed like the contracts every year with hubs, and we found out that it wasn't also a very good idea. So during the preselection, before the preselection, we decided that we led the open consultations We had like around 30 meetings with potential new consortia. We also did a little bit of matchmaking. So after gathering like the initial knowledge about the interest in national preselection, we started to map the entities and suggest some connections between them. Just to, in some cases, it was successful. In some cases, it isn't, unfortunately. But overall, like we're pretty happy with results. So we selected 25 candidates to participate in the final European Commission call, and later we also supported them in grant preparation. It was a very long process. It ended on 22nd February 2022. I remember this date very well because next day I flew to Kyiv for my holidays. Please, next slide. The European Commission selected 11 European digital innovation hubs in Poland, plus 3 hubs with seal of excellence. They don't receive the Commission funding, but we are working, those 3 hubs, you can see them on the map on green. They don't receive yet the funding from the state government, but we are working on this issue also. We can see that in Poland there is pretty well regional coverage. We have some gaps, let's say, in eastern Poland, but we hope that those hubs in central Poland will also provide the services in eastern parts. There are also, when it comes to technologies and when it comes to technical coverage, it's also like pretty well. So in general, we are kind of happy with the outcomes of the selection from European Commission. Please, next slide. Helena thought that European digital innovation hubs are founded like 50-50 base. It means 50% comes from European Commission funds and another 50% comes from so-called state funds. Like in case of Poland, we used the European funds to found this 50%, not Commission, but European funds. And the operator of this funding in Poland is Polish Agency for Enterprise and Development. They are responsible for transferring the money to European digital innovation hubs. We, as a Ministry of Economic Development and Technology, we coordinate the process and take care of meritocratic, let's say, quality of the services. The hubs are just, let's say, in the process of starting being operational. They are supposed to sign the contracts with Polish Agency for Enterprise and Development like in coming weeks, and we hope that they will start operation in November this year. And next slide, please. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can always contact me or maybe even ask today. I will be for maybe like another 20-30 minutes ready to answer your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tomasz. And we're inviting the next speaker, Ania Blaszczak, who will represent the European Innovation Hub that is operating in Poland. Anna, the floor is yours. Alexander, the floor is yours. Sorry for that.
Yeah, we hear you well.
Thank you. So, good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for the invitation. You can start the presentation, I think. My name is Aleksandra Błaszczak, and I am a project coordinator of our Hub for Industry European Digital Innovation Hub project at Krakow Technology Park. Like the previous speaker, Tomasz said, we are one of the 11 edicts in Poland. And in simple words, in our daily work, we support SMEs on their path to digital transformation and the implementation of technological solutions offered by Industry 4.0. Next slide, please. So we try to look at the organization holistically, analyzing its business and production processes in accordance with the ADMA technology. And as a team of experts, we develop roadmaps for the digital transformation of enterprises. We act for entrepreneurs from all over Poland, but our main focus, our main regions where we operate are Silesia, Lesser Poland, Świętokrzyskie, and Podkarpackie. Next slide, please. Yes, our services are free of charge, but of course provided as a part of the de minimis aid for SMEs. And the next slide, please. So together with our partners, because we are a consortium, we create, we would like to say, a comprehensive support for industrial companies and help them to introduce Industry 4.0 to solutions to their factories. Krakow Technology Park is a leader of this project, but we have great partners. We have two big, strong technical partners, which are Astor and T-Mobile. We have a science network, we have universities, we have small technology companies, and we have also consulting companies. Next slide, please. And Tomasz already said about that, but we were one of the 5 DIGs, and we've been operating Hub for Industry since 2019, when we received funding by Polish Ministry. And since January this year, we've been operating EDIG. We formally started, but we haven't signed this agreement with the Polish agency, like you've heard before from Tomasz. So next slide, please, because Tomasz said everything about that. Yeah. So we integrate key technologies and solutions of the factory of the future, such as 5G network connectivity, automation and robotics, industrial IoT, AI, IR, VR, cloud computing, BIM technologies, and others. When it comes to hub services, we have 5 areas where our companies can find the proper solutions for themselves. The next slide, please. So first of all, we educate, for example, through our e-learning platform, on which we have 12 courses on various Industry 4.0 technologies, with further 3 courses coming soon. We organizing various events like conferences, webinars, seminars. So we share our showrooms, where we organize workshops, demonstrations, study visits. It allows companies to better understand how specific solutions can contribute to increasing the efficiency, innovation, and competitiveness of production plants. We also perform diagnosis of the digital maturity of companies according to the ADMA methodology, like I said before. And we are also offer piloting and testing investments. Our hub provides a number of concept verification services called proof of concept. This is a kind of confirmation whether a given idea is real, is feasible, and is in line with expectations. And finally, we offer support and advice in searching for sources of investment financing, as well as building project consortiums if it's needed. The next slide, please. Yes, let me show you some pictures from our showroom located in Krakow. This is the showroom on the Astor factory on the future. We have 2 of them in Krakow, and the third one will be open soon. It will be the T-Mobile showroom. Next slide, please. Next one, please. And this picture was taken during our study visit in Protech, because we organized studies to enterprises that are already examples of the factories of the future and which are constantly improving their processes in accordance with the ADMA methodology. So we are very happy when we can invite our SMEs to such a places. Next slide, please. Another one picture from our showroom, and the last one, please. Next slide, please. So, summing up, now you know who we are, now you know what we do as an ED, but if you want to learn more about us or what we do, please do not hesitate to contact us, to reach us. If you are already a DIG or ED or plan to be one, we would be happy to organize a workshop to discuss opportunities and possibilities for collaboration. I would say as a mature ED, previously operating as a DIG, we are in position to offer you a mentorship offer. We are open to both online or stationary meetings. So if you only want to contact us, feel free to do it. Next slide, please, with our emails. We wish you all good luck, stay safe, and thank you for today.
Thanks a lot, Alexandra, for the presentation and for your cooperation offer. I think some participants today will definitely would like to contact you. I would like to express my appreciation to everyone who was involved in the organization, our organization team, the Ministry of Digital Transformation, the promotion office, and you did a good job. So thanks a lot to you, dear participants, because this is the first event like that as part of the Digital Europe platform. We now know each other, so I hope for the further cooperation. So please be engaged, visit our consultations, ask questions, and be active. And finally, I would like to remind you that this event was organized as part of Digital Europe program that is coordinated by the Ministry of Digital Transformation. And also practical advisor is the office in the promotion of entrepreneurship and export, and it was supported by GIZ and German government. You're invited for networking, and thank you very much for your attention. We'll move forward.